And now that we've heard the verdict, we're all asking what is next and what that means for Donald Trump.
All right, Fox 5's Richard Giacovas live outside Trump Tower with more on that part of the story tonight. Richard.
Steve, Teresa, a historic and surreal day for Donald Trump and for so many of his supporters. Tonight, the former president still maintaining his innocence and spending the night here at Trump Tower in the city, a convicted felon in the tower that bears his name. The question now, what's next for the 45th president of the United States? As former President Donald Trump returned back to Trump Tower following a fundraiser tonight, he once again waved to the few loyal supporters who waited for his return. Trump has called this trial a witch hunt from the start, criticizing Judge Juan Merchan as corrupt, as well as the Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who brought the case. He will most certainly appeal, says Kean University provost and political expert David Birdsell. But that appeal can't be filed until after sentencing and would most likely not be heard before the November 5th election.
He has ample grounds to appeal. This is a novel theory of the case, obviously a very successful theory of the case in front of this jury with a conviction on all 34 counts. But there are plenty of issues to explore on appeal.
But Trump tonight may also be thinking about his sentencing. He'll be back in that courtroom in just 6 weeks, where he will learn his fate. Birdsell says there is at least the possibility, although highly unlikely, this country could see for the first time in history a former president of the United States go to prison.
He is a first-time offender. These are white-collar crimes. That doesn't mean that people shouldn't go to jail for it, but they go less frequently than people do for street crimes, violent crimes, burglaries, those kinds of things. So it's very unlikely that he would go, but it could happen.
Trial attorney and legal analyst Robin Nunn points out that the 34 counts are all Class E felonies, New York's lowest level. Yes, each carries a maximum of 4 years in prison, but Nunn says the judge most likely will look at probation or even home confinement as punishments.
There are also a lot of other white-collar criminals who have gotten house arrest and have served, no time because there is like an unlikelihood that they will commit another crime such as that, and so they generally find that they can be not serve prison time.
For now, Trump is potentially mapping out his campaign stops for the next month, something he hasn't been able to do for the past 7 weeks. There are so many what-ifs here. If the judge does impose prison time, will President Trump serve that concurrently? If he sentences him to probation, would the former president, if he becomes president, have to report to a probation officer? And will his travel be limited? All questions that will have to wait until the morning of July 11th. For now, President Trump will hold a press conference of his own inside Trump Tower's atrium tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. A historic day. We're live outside of Trump Tower. Richard Giacovas, Fox 5 News, Steve Teresa.
All right, thanks, Richard.